Joining us on the line right now, Senator David Vitter, Republican from the state of Louisiana. And we asked him to come on today because it apparently going to happen pretty soon now. There is finally going to be a vote on Loretta Lynch, the president's choice to be the next Attorney General of the United States. It has been controversial. Some people say they've done the math and they think that she has the votes to be confirmed. What's your sense of it, Senator Vitter? Has she got the votes, and when do you think that vote might actually take place?
I think the vote is likely to be in the next 2 days, 2 to 3 days. So this week, we'll see then. I mean, certainly you're right. Most people are guessing and estimating that she has the votes. We'll see.
It's not an overwhelming vote, however, and there is controversy surrounding this nomination. You will be aligned against Loretta Lynch. Am I correct?
Yes, I said
and why?
Months ago. Well, I said months ago I couldn't support her confirmation for several reasons, but primarily because of her justification of President Obama's executive amnesty. I talked to her directly about that in my office, wanted to hear her out, wanted to see what sort of rationale she had, and I didn't hear much of one. I just heard her sort of spouting the company line. That was very, very disappointing to me for this position, top lawyer for the country. She's not going to be the president's lawyer if confirmed. She's supposed to be the country's lawyer if confirmed. And she was just spouting the company line and didn't have a good legal analysis at all, I didn't think.
Do you have any sense, based on your conversations with the woman, whether you think she would be an independent attorney general, or will she just, as you say, toe the party line? And the reason I ask is there's a couple of things out there that are pretty interesting right now. Right. It would be very hard for a Democrat to investigate things like Hillary's emails, the 30,000 emails that were deleted off the server, things like this information coming out in the book Clinton Cash about quid pro quo. Did the Secretary of State do nice things for people who gave money to the Clinton Foundation?
Yeah. Well, I think this executive amnesty is a perfect example. I didn't see any hint of independence there. I heard her repeating sort of pro forma the company line, not even being able to go into depth about it. So that's what I was looking for, is real independence, and I didn't see any.
Senator David Vitter, you've actually spoken with Loretta Lynch and come up with your opinion, and it sounds like you're pretty passionate that she's going to be a problem here. I got to ask you, though, it sounds like Jeb Bush undercut your efforts last week. I'm going to quote him here. He says, if someone is supportive of the president's policies, whether you agree with them or not, there should be some deference to the executive. It should not always be partisan. That's what Jeb Bush said, and he wants to be the president of the United States, the Republican nominee. Does this make it difficult for you to support him?
No. Well, first of all, I'm not supporting any particular person running for president. I think we have a good crop of candidates. Secondly, I could have said exactly the same thing. I think that's very different, though, from supporting this executive amnesty in this particular case, which is stepping way, way over the line, in my opinion. I think Jeb would agree with that in terms of the president's proper role and his proper executive authority.
You mentioned executive amnesty, and we just had the appeals court down there hearing the president's request to block that stay on his executive amnesty. You want to be the governor of Louisiana. You're going to have to deal in very real terms with the ramifications of what the president has done here. What is your impression of what happened there at the appeals court, and what the decision is going to be based on your understanding of it?
Well, it's very difficult to sort of read tea leaves based on the oral argument and guess what the decision is going to be. Most folks trying to do that think the court is probably going to decide in favor of the district court and not lift the stay, and this matter will go to the Supreme Court. I hope that's right, because I certainly don't think this executive amnesty should be executed, should move forward until all of these legal matters are heard. And the only way you can do that is stay it until all of the legal constitutional matters are decided, probably ultimately by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Just a quick follow-up. I mean, you're pounding the pavement in Louisiana and talking to voters, and you're going to have to deal with this. But Louisiana is also known for its incredible diversity and the fact that it is a melting pot with so many people from other countries and other cultures. What are you hearing from people? Is this one of the first things that comes up when they talk to you?
This is a big concern around Louisiana, and it should be. We're actually directly impacted a lot more than folks might think. For instance, these new waves of illegal minors who have been coming into the country, particularly the last 12 months, Louisiana is actually one of the top 10 states in terms of where they're being actively relocated by the federal government. So we're one of the top 10 states in terms of those numbers. And, of course, when folks are relocated like that into Louisiana, there are huge impacts, huge costs, $10 million a year minimum to our school system alone. And there are plenty of other impacts and costs like health care, other social services. So, yeah, I do hear a lot about it in Louisiana.
All right, new topic. Right now, apparently, we are sending the USS Teddy Roosevelt, the USS Normandy, maybe even the Lincoln Battle Group over to intercept some ships coming out of Iran. It is believed that these ships are carrying weapons for the Shiite Houthi rebels in Yemen. What are you hearing about this? Do you have concerns?
I think it's probably the appropriate action. My concerns are mostly on the other end of the spectrum. My concerns are with the nuclear deal with Iran, and I hope the Congress has a meaningful say in that and a role in that. And, of course, we're going to be debating legislation about that probably this week as well.
All right, and it seems to me that the sense is that perhaps the Senate will not go along with the administration on this. What's your sense?
Well, I do think we'll pass this so-called Corker bill. I'm concerned that that's very, very little protection in terms of our proper say and role, because it would basically just take a little over a third of the House or Senate to block congressional action and to let President Obama do what he wants. So I'm pushing for significant say and role in the matter. But certainly a lot of folks in the Senate and elsewhere have concerns about this deal.
One last question. Are the rules still in place with regard to the Loretta Lynch nomination that a 60-vote clearance is still needed there to get that nomination through? Or could you and some of your fellow Republicans who are concerned about this, could you filibuster that nomination?
No, unfortunately, the Harry Reid rule is still in place, meaning it takes a simple majority.
Would you like Leader McConnell to lift that?
I think that change in the rules under Harry Reid was done improperly, so I think it should be 60 votes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Senator Vitter.
Yeah. Senator Vitter, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the visit.
All right.
Thanks.